"Are you having an affair? Are you having an affair?" I was like screaming. The cops were trying to hold me back. Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog. On Saturday night, my boyfriend broke up with me, and I have been in emergency therapy sessions for the past 2 days. We spent this last weekend together, Thursday through Saturday. We went to Dallas, had a great time at the midnight concert. I vlogged everything. We went to SpaCon, had a great time. I vlogged everything. And then I decided to pull some BPD bullshit on him, and he said no thank you, and he walked away from the relationship. And I honestly don't know if there's any hope for reconciliation. He knows his value, and he knows that he doesn't have to put up with things like that, and I honestly don't blame him one bit. That's okay, that's his choice, and I'm not going to try to convince him to stay with me. I honestly don't know how anybody could stand to be in a relationship with me, and I don't say that to play the victim. I say that because of the realizations that I've come to over the past few days in my intensive therapy sessions. So after this all happened with my current boyfriend, I realized that some of the words he said to me, some of the things he told me, were some of the exact same words that Andrew had said to me in the past. And I saw some of the exact same patterns, the exact same things that I did to Andrew that I started doing to this new guy too. It is pervasive patterns of emotional hyperreactivity. There are many reasons why I lie to the people in my life. Mostly I lie to myself, and I start to believe my lies, and then I tell other people those same lies, and it just turns into a big thing. So I have lied to you multiple times, my audience. I have lied to my partner. I have lied to myself. I have lied to my therapist for months and months and months. And I've been pretending to get better. I've been pretending to put in the work. I've been pretending that I'm doing well, and I am not. I am doing very, very bad. I hate that it took some horrible event to happen in my life for me to come to that realization, but it did. I may have destroyed this relationship beyond repair. Didn't even make it to 4 months. That is the fastest I have ever destroyed a relationship, but I also think it's partially because this man is very strong, has a lot of confidence, knows his worth. He's not as weak as the other men I have dated, and he wouldn't put up with it for long, you know. In other words, what is perceived as manipulation is in fact a desperate attempt to cope with the overwhelming fears of abandonment and rejection that sit at the heart of borderline personality disorder. Rather than manipulation, understanding these behaviors as pervasive patterns of emotional hyperreactivity allow us to move away from stigmatizing conceptualizations of BPD symptoms. It does not come from a place of malice or ill intent. It does not come from a place of wanting to hurt other people. I don't sit around scheming and thinking of ways to manipulate. One example is when I deleted my entire YouTube channel. A lot of people said I was doing it to punish my viewers for hurting me, but that's not true. I wasn't doing it for that reason. I was doing it because I felt so rejected and so hurt by the comments and by the rejection of my viewers that I just overreacted emotionally and just retreated and took everything down. It wasn't, I didn't sit around thinking, how can I hurt these bastards? You know, it was just an overreaction on my part, and I do that a lot. It's way worse than you see in the vlogs, and it's way worse in my relationships as well. That, yeah, we had shitty lives and shitty parents, but at some point it becomes 99% your choice and 1% their fault to continue going on like this, and he's right. I have played the perpetual victim. I have enjoyed being a victim because it gets me sympathy and attention. I don't want to be a victim anymore. I want to take control of my life. I want to get better and recover for real. In today's video, I'm going to be clarifying some of the lies and omissions that I told and the reasons why I told them on this channel since the whole Andrew situation. The timeline of the mistress and baby situation. I found out that he got somebody pregnant in April. It was actually the day that I got my nose piercing done. That's when I found out. I got an email from Andrew, popped up on my phone, and I was like, that motherfucker emailed me. So I opened it up and read it, and I literally fell to the ground screaming and crying. And I'm gonna read you what the email said. So I'm not gonna read you the whole email, but I'll just read you this excerpt. There's one more thing I need to tell you so that we can be done with secrets. Someone I slept with got pregnant, and she didn't want to get an abortion. I may have to pay some kind of child support at some point. I don't really know how it works. I still want to be with you and leave all this behind. I know that's probably a terrible thing to do, but I love you. So he told me someone he slept with got pregnant. He did not tell me about the mistress situation or any of that. So when I found that out, I did not tell you on the vlogs because, for one, I was still protecting him because I still wanted him back in spite of that. I thought he still wanted to be with me and he just didn't know what to do. I thought he was staying with his mom and all that kind of shit. I knew in April that there was the possibility of a baby. Now, the story changed, okay? Over the months between April and June, he made me believe that she might be lying and she might not even be pregnant at all. And I thought that it probably wasn't even his kid or it wasn't even true. And he had me convinced of this. So I thought there was no reason for me to talk about this on the vlog because it's not going to be an issue for us. We're going to figure it out. I didn't find out until the very end when I told you guys. That's when I found out that there really was a baby. I knew the possibility of it because of all this bullshit, but That's when I found out that it was really for real, is when I finally kicked him out. I found out that it was with this girl that he had apparently been banging for a year behind my back. So the next thing that I kind of twisted around and didn't tell the whole truth was about his mistress. So you may remember in one of my videos, I said that he had apparently been with somebody for a year. The reason why I thought that is because I found a Reddit account of his where he was talking about how he had been with this girl for a year. At first I thought it was true, then he convinced me because he was so good at like, I would believe whatever he said. He had a silver tongue, and I just ate up his lies, y'all, because I wanted to believe them. That being said, I suspected he was having an affair before we even left Colorado. But this was on February 26th. This is when I found out that he was staying with a woman. He had me convinced that she was just a coworker, just a friend. He was just crashing on the couch. She was pregnant and he was living with her. While I was in the Uber, when we were driving down the road to the therapy place, I was just looking out the window in the back of the Uber and I saw our fucking car outside of somebody's house with snow on it, like it had been there all night because it was snowing that day. And he had told me that he had been staying with his boss. And I knew she did not live in that shitty fucking neighborhood. It wasn't February 26th when I saw the car. It was February 26th when I confronted him. When I saw the car, it was like a couple days before that, whenever I went to my therapy. So when I finally did get my car on February 26th, I drove over there. And sure enough, it was our car sitting out in front of the house. So what did my crazy ass do? I parked down the street and surveilled the fucking house. I sent him a message that said, "So I just saw the car. Well, I see it right now. So I guess that's not Michelle's house." Michelle was his boss. "Why did you lie to me?" And he messaged back like 3 minutes later and said, "I told you last night she was on vacation, but I guess you don't really pay attention to what I say." So he told me his boss went on vacation, so he had to go stay with somebody else, which was a fucking lie. He had been staying at this house where our car was with this girl the whole time since the day he left. But he didn't know I was still sitting outside in the car. So he came out of the house with this girl behind him, and they got into our car. She sat in my seat in my car, and I came squealing down the fucking road. I pulled up in front of him really fast, jumped out of the car, started screaming, "Who the fuck is this?" She managed to close the door on me before I could yank her out of the car. I jumped in my car. They tried to lose me. I jumped in my car, turned around, fucking driving like a madman, and followed them on their ass for miles. He stopped at the police station, and I saw him talking to the cop. The cop pulled up to me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm following my fucking husband and his whore." And I was screaming at him, "Are you having an affair? Are you having an affair?" I was like screaming. The cops were trying to hold me back. Looked in my eyes and he just shook his head like that. But I could see it in his eyes. I knew. Eventually, he texted me back that day. He still tried to convince me that she was just a friend. She didn't mean anything to him. He was sleeping on the couch. All this shit. And I believed it, y'all. Well, I deluded myself, you know? Like, deep down inside, I knew it couldn't be true. You don't just stay with a woman at her house. I didn't tell you guys any of that because I wanted to protect him, and I wanted to protect myself and our relationship, and I didn't want people to know how fucking pathetic I was. Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. So of course, journaling is part of mindfulness. I do that every day, every morning. I write 2 pages front and back in a standard size notebook, just to help me like observe and record my thoughts and feelings without judgment upon myself. So that's something that I'm obviously going to continue doing. It's like a habit for me, and I feel like out of touch with myself if I don't do it anymore. I have not had any motivation to clean or care for myself. The only thing I've been doing is caring for my dogs. But I know I have to get on with my life. I have to move on. I have to carry on. So I am doing my DBT work, trying to control myself and respect other people's boundaries. I have not contacted him. I am controlling the urge. And anytime I get the urge to contact him, I just sit down and write more in my journal. Accountability, taking responsibility for your actions and their consequences. Once again, I am doing that now by not contacting this guy and letting him have his space and waiting to see if he ever wants to talk to me again, and if not, respecting that decision. So here's my breakfast/lunch, 2 McDoubles with no bun. I forgot to get no toppings, but that's all right. It's not gonna cause me that many problems. I've done a lot of stupid things over the past month when I've been off my meds, and I don't know why I couldn't see it at the time, but now looking back, I'm like, holy shit, I bet all of that was because I was unmedicated, and that makes me so much worse, as you have seen, like going off of the carnivore diet and just doing like incredibly impulsive things, and I did a lot of stuff that you guys don't see as well, that I know myself, and it was impulsive even for me. But also I am working through these things as best I can, but it's not easy. I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna make videos where you think I'm just off the fucking wall insane, because it's not just a straight up the hill process. I'm not just gonna start here and incrementally get better every single day. Like, I'm gonna get a little bit better and I'm gonna backslide. I'm gonna get a little bit better and I'm gonna backslide. It's like losing weight, you know? It's rocky, but eventually you'll get to the top. Okay, anyway, I just, I had a lot of like thoughts going around in my mind after my therapy session, so I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that. But now I'm going to get back to trying to get my apartment clean. So this is what my kitchen looks like. This is all trash that's piled up over here, and my trash can is overflowing. There's trash on the floor. There's all of these dirty dishes over here. The counters are gross. The sink is gross. There's stuff everywhere. So I'm gonna get busy cleaning this mess up, and then I will show you guys what it looks like afterwards and how long it took me. Okay, I got the kitchen clean, y'all. It did take me about 3.5 hours to do it. I know that is a ridiculously long time, but I took a lot of breaks and I just tried to focus on one thing at a time until I got it done. But everything's clean now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I don't have the greatest energy today, but I tried. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.